Hi, in this video on retirement, I'm going to talk about some things you've probably already thought about yourself, although there's always a chance that you haven't, and that's why I'm going to mention it. When my wife and I got married 63 years ago now, a year after we'd been living with my mother-in-law, we moved into our own house. Now, we didn't have a lot of money, and the real estate man, when he was showing us around various houses, showed us only 3. And they were all pretty shoddy looking places and not particularly big. But eventually we decided that we'd take the one we'd been shown first. Now, this home was built in 1929, and this, of course, is now 1961. But this wasn't just an ordinary home. This had been sort of jerry-built, almost homemade, so to speak, by handymen. But it was very solid. It wasn't a particularly big home. It had 2 bedrooms, and it was made of timber and fibro, which, as you know, is asbestos, not real good stuff. And the roof was corrugated iron. But what it did have was a huge block of land, a massive block of land, as big as 2, maybe 3 ordinary blocks. And it was built on a slope. And from the back windows or the backyard, you could enjoy a panoramic view. You could see 50 miles. Fantastic view. And along with this great backyard, we even inherited 3 sheep, which came with it. Number of sheds, because at one time this had been an old farmhouse, built in an ideal location. So, what's the drawbacks? The drawbacks are these. In a house like this, with wooden window frames, iron roof, timber walls, it needed painting inside and out regularly. And I did spend a lot of time over the next decades painting that place inside and out, including the roof. Now, getting on the roof is quite hazardous, but when you're a young man, you can get up there, you can hang from the top of the roof by one arm and paint away regardless. But as time goes by, getting on the roof and painting gets a little bit harder. In 2007, we downsized. We downsized for many reasons. We knew that other people wanted their block of land. We'd already subdivided and made it smaller, built a house down the back, and that brought us a little bit of money so we could pay off the mortgage. The mortgage was now paid off, the house was ours, and the block of land, now only roughly half the size. I could still look after it. But as I got into my 70s, I was finding to myself, this is getting hard, all this painting. And I also had timber verandas, front and back, which also needs to be prepared and looked after. So we decided to downsize. Now, what's the point I'm making as far as you're concerned? When we downsized, we were able to sell our house at probably quite a large amount, not an astronomical amount, but a fair bit more than the unit we decided to buy, which gave us a little bit of money, enough money to buy some good furniture for the new place we'd gone into, and even a brand new car. Not a big expensive car, but a brand new car. 2007, we've still got that car and it's still going well. But the beauty of downsizing was this: no longer having to paint outside the house. Tile roof, brick walls, metal window frames, virtually no maintenance on the outside. We didn't buy a unit because a unit doesn't have a yard or garden, and my wife likes to do a little bit of gardening. So we have a small yard, big enough for her to potter around and put in flower beds and things like that. And so the beauty of it is this. We have a house which is low maintenance, which gives us free time to do the things we want to do. And of course we came out of the head, and it's a two-story house, so it does have stairs in it. That could become a drawback once you get into really old age. But we are now I'm in my late 80s and my wife's in her middle 80s. We're still managing fine. So from here we will probably stay in this house for the rest of our life. But the point I'm making is this. When you downsize at the right time. Not too early, not too late. Another thing that you could be thinking about when you retire is you'll buy land and a place in the country. Is it a good idea? It might be for a while. Probably if you retire at 55, you'll be good for 15 years or so. But after that, maybe even 20 years, after that you might be thinking to yourself, what am I going to do now? Well, I suppose you could always sell it. So maybe buying land and say a hobby farm when you retire would be fine. But I just thought I'd leave you with these thoughts. Downsize at the right time, get a place which suits you, not too much maintenance, and then you will enjoy your life probably far greater than if you hang on to the old place if you can no longer really maintain it.